So I was here this morning chairing a session at the SEC conference about net zero homes. We had three great speakers from different sectors of the industry, a local authority, a housing association and an architectural practice, all of whom have got the most brilliant plans set in place and are really showing leadership across the range of their remit. In other words, policy, existing homes, new homes, and their own kind of corporate responsibilities. So I think everybody kind of thinks that you're only really going to make things happen at scale through regulation. But we waited 10 years for an improvement in the energy efficiency standard, for example, in building regulations. So it's pretty clear that local authorities and housing associations can make a difference by showing leadership themselves, by setting standards themselves within the context of their own framework, if you like, of response to climate change. So I think we're at the point now where we're waiting for a lot of policy, and in the meantime we can't just twiddle our thumbs. You know, the world is burning, we need to act. So these wonderful organisations have actually set about making a framework of action and are actually delivering on it as soon as they possibly can. So I think one of the biggest challenges at the moment is cost. I think what we heard even from my session this morning, and I've heard it from other things I've been hooking into, is that actually the finance companies and the finance institutions really want to, they have their own ESG commitments. It's important for them to see that we're being climate resilient, and therefore they are encouraging people who are lending from them to actually make the right moves. So I think finance is the difficult one because everyone associates cost with the net zero agenda, but ultimately if we're all doing it, it's a level playing field. So, it shouldn't be an issue. The question is really how we scale up the good examples that we've already got. And I think actually the finance institutions could even help us with that. So I've campaigned for a long time for better understanding of actual performance in buildings, and it was very interesting to hear from actually all three of our session speakers that they are actively monitoring the impacts of renovation measures or the outcomes on bills of new homes designed for a net zero standard. So I think actually coming to grips with the outcomes of this in terms of people's bills and people's health is really important, and of course that's enabled by our wonderful digital technology. So that's a big message for me coming forward, that they are doing that because they are digitally enabled to do that, and it gives a really good evidence base for their strategies going forward.